Round 3 of the BTRDA heads to Somerset, the unique stages always providing something a little different for the crews with that red dust. Winner of Round 2, Charlie Payne, leads the crews away with Round 1 victor Luke Francis behind. Stephen Petch rounds off the top few starters in that Fiesta, and we have some variety in the top 10 with Tom Preston and Tristan Bailey bringing out the Skoda and the Mitsubishi this weekend.
So Charlie, you were going well last year up until your slight incident. What's your plan of attack for today?
We'll just go a bit steadier, I think, and we don't be on our roof again, so we'll just go nice and steady.
So you've had a mixed start to the season. Is the car all sorted now?
Yeah, car's all sorted. We had a few last-minute dramas yesterday, but everything's all sorted now, so yeah, hoping for a good day.
So it's a long way to come from Yorkshire for this today. How are you going to tackle the stages?
Flat out, that's all we can do, isn't it? We haven't had the best start to the championship so far, so we need to get solid points today, so that's going to be the aim.
On to the morning stages then, and it would be the early lead for Luke Francis and John Roberts. They make a good start, but the advantage would still only be a few seconds in that position.
It's been going quite well, to be fair. I had frightened myself to death on the last gravel stage. It was a bit slippy, and then Pollock was exactly the same, so I made up to be back here at service, to be fair, because we've had some major near misses. So yeah, time's just good, and we're still fighting away with Charlie, so yeah, that'll be fun.
Chasing down Francis were last round winners Charlie Payne and Carl Williamson. They start the day off on the back foot a little in the Simpson Fiesta and were just unable to make that time back at this stage. The gap to the leaders just 3 seconds.
Charlie, how are you getting on today?
Plodding along. Yeah, we're just it's got a little bit better in there. So I'm not very good on tarmac, so I'm quite pleased the times we did. So yep, there's a lot more grip on that than there is out in the forest anyway.
Carl and Guy Simmons were finding the stages very slippery, but despite that they were putting in some good times to lie in third place at this stage, 38 seconds back from Payne.
So how's everything going for you, Carl?
Yeah, steady really, to be fair. It's better now it's drying up.
Martin and Dawn England bring the new Fiesta out for its BTRDA outing. They were getting used to things pretty quickly as well in fourth place.
So Martin, this is a new car for you. We're halfway through the day. How's it going?
Very well. We've had a really good start, first time on gravel with the car. In the stages, we really got to grips with her quite well. We're very pleased actually. I think we were 7th after the gravel stages, so yeah, very, very pleased.
Sadly, the event would take its toll on a few crews. Stephen Petch and Michael Wilkinson becoming one of the first with prop shaft failure in stage 2. And we'd also lose Tristan Bailey and James Howe when they retire with gearbox issues a little later in the morning. Russ Thompson and Andy Murphy managed to keep all 4 wheels on the car for the morning stages and lead the way in the Group N battle, with a 20-second lead as well in that class.
How's the day been for you?
Yeah, not too bad. I think we're leading Group N and 4th overall, so yeah, good slippy stages, but good fun.
Good clean stages for Peter Stevenson and Giles Dykes was exactly what they ordered. That means they reached the end of the morning stages with no problems, lying in 6th place overall now. And having not been out for a while, Stephen Clark with Steve Pugh alongside settles into the morning stages with 7th place. Enjoying these stages here in Somerset, but needing to tidy things up in the afternoon if those two want to gain any places. Paul Ben and Richard Kirk seemed to have a car that was attracted to the banks, hitting a couple of them along the way and arriving back at service with a few bits of the car missing. Apart from that though, it was going okay. They lie in 8th place. Tom Preston and Jack Morton bring the new car out this weekend, a switch from the Focus WRC, and it was taking some getting used to. A few spins and stalls were not helping the times, but they do manage to lie in 9th place for now. And rounding out our top 10 were Sasha Kakad and James Aldridge. They were enjoying the challenging stages to also lie 2nd in the Group N class at this stage. In some of the class places outside of the top 10 then, it will be Andy Davies and Max Freeman who take up 3rd in the Group N class behind Kakad. Sadly, we would lose Roland Llewellyn and Dan Neroda. They crash out of the event on stage 5 after going wide and hitting one of the Somerset banks. And also, frustratingly, we'd lose Aaron McClure and Alex Kiorani. They put in some good times over the morning, but sadly that would come to a dramatic end when they put the car off, ending their rally and potentially their season. So rounding out the top class runners were Peter Bayliss and Anthony Blythe. In the Silver Star, Gavin Edwards and Karen Tomlinson would lead the way by the midway point. They end the morning with a 21-second advantage. The tarmac of Porlock probably more suited to the pair than the gravel, with their road rally experience in mind.
6 right. 6 right, 40, 3 right opens. 80, flat 4 right of a bump in.
Boyd Kershaw and Brian Hull had a mixed morning. The speed was there, but they would overshoot a junction and stall the car, losing some time. They lie in second place for now, 21 seconds back from the lead.
Boyd, how's it been going?
Yeah, we had a problem on the first one. I forgot to turn the corner basically, overshot it and stalled again and spun out a couple of times. So it's been a mixed bag. Porlock was really slippy at the start of it, but the top was really good. But yeah, we'll just have another crack in the next few stages.
Phil Burton and Mal Capstick would also be having a few moments and getting away with them, but they end the morning with third place. A good start to their first time on these stages.
Phil, how's it been going?
Interesting. Obviously the stages, as everybody says, are really, really slippy. We've had one big moment we got away with. We've just enjoyed a slippy Porlock for the first time up it. Pleased with the time, same as Boyd, so just keep it on the island and bring it home.
Jody Bocott and David Millard were finding the stages here in Somerset tricky, with them being a little more rough than they usually are down here. They end the morning with fourth place in the Silver Star and third in the B11 class. It will be a similar story too through the results. Ashley Davies and Sam Fordham will be another pair finding it slippery and struggling to stay on a clean line. They end the morning with fifth, second in the B12 class behind Burton. Cameron Davies and Lee Taylor come here off the back of a Fiesta Trophy victory last time out, of course. This weekend, with the confidence brewing, they lead the way once again. A good lead in the Fiestas and sixth place overall. And for a change, things were going okay for James Hutchings and James Hood. They have no problems to report, both drive shafts in working order and in one piece. They end the morning with seventh place and lead the way in the B10 class. Gareth Edwards and Dylan Andrews enjoy their first run on tarmac in around 10 years, with the two stages on Porlock. Things were going well for the pair, 8th place for now. A puncture in the early stages for Tony Williams and Karen Phelps would hold them back a little, but they have a good run apart from that, looking to get to the end of the event and score some championship points. Simon Tuckman and Sean Hughes will be losing a little time with a few spins on the tarmac stage at Porlock. The plan for this afternoon, therefore, would be to go flat out and make that time back up in the forests. And for George Lepley and Arwell Jenkins, it will be second place in the Fiesta ST Trophy. They have a good start to the day, but not such a good run on Porlock. Paul Street and Ian Jones lead the way in the H3 class at this stage, taking it steady in the tricky conditions to ensure a good finish. And Nigel Siebold and Tim Barton bring the Escort out for a run, ending the morning with first place in the H2 class. They picked up some damage to the steering in the opening stage. No such problems for Bob Vardy and Simon Rogers. They end the morning with second place in the B10 class after a good, clean morning. Tim Kiervan Rogers and Abby Haycock were back for the next round of the Fiesta Trophy. Third place in that for the pair at this stage. A small gearbox gremlin would have them erring on the side of caution through the stages.
1 left max, 200 at mid.
Brakes would be the issue for Kit and Tim Lee this morning, or lack of them. They do get them sorted though for the tarmac stages, but for now they could only climb as high as third in the B10 class. For Andy Turner and Steve Harris, it would be third in the B12 class. An unusual sight in the Silver Star as the pair were out in a rear-wheel drive in Pretzel. Barry Jordan and James Grattan Smith have a good run in the H3 class to end this morning's stages with second place there. And for Robin Shuttleworth and Ronnie Ruffhead, it would be the lead in the H1 class. Their first time on this event, and it was going well so far. For Jeremy Wells and Martin Saunders, it will be a good start, enjoying themselves as they reach service with third place in the H3 class. In the 1400s, it would be a big advantage at the front by the midway point for Dave Brick and Keaton Williams. He would have a troublesome Porlock, but that didn't affect the lead too much.
There's a good battle for the 1400s. How's it been this morning?
It was good first thing this morning, but we just made a bit of a mess up on Porlock, so I think we've lost it all now. But so big push this afternoon.
Sadly, the same couldn't be said for Chris Powell and Jim Lewis. They have a good start to the rally, but a small off on the stages would see them bend the steering, meaning they are unable to continue. That would leave Freddie and Toby Brick to lie second in the 1400s going into service. A family dominance at the top of the results then here in Somerset. Things were close for that second spot though. James Ball and Gavin Haycock will be lying in third at this stage, but the gap to Brick ahead was only 5 seconds. Charlie Barlow and Dale Furness were looking to gain experience on the gravel here, but the times were good. The junior rally champion lying fourth at this stage. And for Keith and Mari Riddick, it will be fifth. They didn't feel things were going that well, but the times were still close at this stage. Onto the rally first then, and there will be a good lead in there for Richard Wells and Calvin Holdsworth. They would plan to take it easy in the afternoon and play to that advantage that they've gained so far.
It's over half the event done.
Yep.
What's your plan of attack this afternoon?
The plan of attack is a bit more of the same, I think. You know, try and keep it on the road, and I think we've got a bit of a margin now, so we can take it a bit easier. So we'll try and keep pushing, but see.
Chris Hickman and Glenn Thomas would be their closest rivals. The local pair enjoying a good start to the rally and leading the way in the Rally First 1.4 class. That class lead would be a small one though, with just 15 seconds back to Emily and Elliot Ritalik. Second in the class and third in Rally First. The morning not without its troubles, the bumpy stages throwing the Peugeot around and taking a whole lot of effort to hold on to.
And your 4 left. Down, 5 right, care over bumps, and 2 right, trees close. 3 left, 130 up the middle.
Outside the top of the results, but leading the way in the Rally First 1 litre class were Duncan and John Freeman, 6th in Rally First at this stage. So midway through the rally, it's a lead for Luke Francis in the Gold Star. Gavin Edwards looks good in Silver Star, and it's a Brick 1-2 in the 1400s, with Richard Wells looking good for the Rally First victory at this stage of the event. Onto the afternoon stages then, and it's all changed in the lead of Rally First 1 litre as Phil and Chris Spilstead take the class victory there after the loss of Duncan Freeman. It's all changed in the top of the results as well, as Gary Wilson and Martin Haggett reached the end of the rally with third place in the Rally First category, and indeed third in the Rally First 1.4 class. For Emily and Elliot Ritalik, it will be second place. They move up the results with the loss of the early leaders, just 24 seconds off victory this weekend. So that means that it's a great finish for Chris Hickman and Glenn Thomas on Chris's home event as they take the Rally First victory here in Somerset. There's a whole lot of change through the 1400s as Charlie Barlow and Dale Furness drop a place in the afternoon to take 5th. They certainly, though, wouldn't be bothered about that. Charlie's main aim to get a finish today. For Carl Davies and Richard Jones, the afternoon will be much better, moving their way up from 9th place before service, taking 4th at the end of the rally. And there's much the same story for Neil Andrew and Dom Adams as they move up from 6th into 3rd. Taking it easy this weekend while they await the arrival of a new engine for the Micro. James Ball and Gavin Haycock gain a place too. They move into 2nd place. Runners up in the 1400s this weekend and taking the 1400S victory. Sadly, after a great battle all day, we lose Dave Brick and Keaton Williams from the lead of the 1400s in the later stages of the day. But that means for family honours for Freddie and Toby Brick, it would be victory. Freddie no stranger to the top step of the 1400s, but this will be his first time in the driver's seat.
Freddie, first 1400 today. Well done. It seems like it's come a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it has massively, to be honest with you. I mean, some of the top boys must have dropped out and we've sunk in there, but we've had a cracking day on it. We seem to have had a bit of trouble with the back right. Shock absorbers broke, so it's been like driving a kangaroo around all day, but we've got there. and it's gone really well. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
On to the Silver Star we go then, and it will be a 20th place overall finish for Jeremy Wells and Martin Saunders. And it's the H1 class win for Robin Shuttleworth and Ronnie Roughhead. First in the class and 19th overall on the first visit for the pair to the Somerset stages. There's change in the B12 class as we see Simon Smith and Andrew Greener take third in that class at the end of the rally with 18th on the leaderboard. Sadly for Bob Vardy and Simon Rogers, there will be a drop down to third in the B10 class, but they still finish with a good result of 15th overall. Tim Kieran Rogers and Abby Haycock make it to the end of the rally with another podium in the Fiesta ST Trophy. They take third in the class and 14th place in the Silver Star. Kit and Tim Lee have a much better afternoon with working brakes on the car, getting to the finish with second place in the B10 class. And it's a good weekend for Nigel Siebold and Tim Barton as they bring the Escort home with the H2 class victory and with 12th place overall. For James Hutchings and James Hood, it will be a good, clean event, finishing the day with the B10 class victory that they'd missed out on many times recently. They finished just outside our top 10 in 11th place on the overall leaderboard. And for Simon Tuckman and Sean Hughes, it will be 10th. The calculated drive to the finish working out well, the pair collecting some good and very valuable championship points. George Lepley and Arwell Jenkins, meanwhile, gain a few places on the overall results to end the rally with 9th. Also taking second in the Fiesta ST Trophy this weekend. Tony Williams and Karen Phelps get their wish of just reaching the finish to get some good points towards the championship. Gareth Edwards and Dylan Andrew have a push in the afternoon stages, but they almost break the car on a big hole in stage 12, backing off a little for the final stage to ensure a finish. 7th place for the pair. Ashley Davies and Sam Fordham battle through the tricky conditions to end the event with 6th place in the category and 2nd in the B12 class this weekend. And Cameron Davies and Lee Taylor add victory number 2 to their championship campaign this weekend in the Fiesta ST Trophy. They take victory in that, and they take 5th place overall in the Silver Star. It's a good weekend for Jody Bocott and David Millard, seeing them bring the car home just outside the podium places, 4th place in the Silver Star and 3rd in the B11 class. For Phil Burton and Mal Capstick, it will be the 2nd podium in a row following their good result on the Malcolm Wilson Rally. 3rd place for the pair on their first visit to the Somerset stages. Sadly for Boyd Kershaw and Brian Hull, a 2nd stall on the afternoon stages wouldn't help them in their fight for victory. They end the rally with 10 seconds of a gap to the leaders and have to settle for 2nd place. So that does mean it will be victory here for Gavin Edwards and Karen Tomlinson. A great result that sees them add to an increasing tally of points in the Silver Star Championship standings.
So Gavin, you take maximum points in the Silver Championship today. Well done.
We do, yes. Unexpectedly, I didn't think we'd come and take maximum points today, but obviously Boyd's had some issues this morning with a spin. I did the same this afternoon and I thought we'd lost it all, but when we got to the finish it was still there, so I'm really chuffed, really chuffed.
On to the Gold Star then, and it will be 3rd in the B13 class at the finish of the rally for Warren McKinnon and Darren Garrett as they end the event with 31st overall. Scott Partridge and Mike Jode will be the ones to beat them to that 2nd place in the class. The pair ending the event a little way ahead in the overall results too, with 23rd. Andy Davies and Max Freeman managed to gain themselves a place to round out our top 10 at the end of the rally, taking 3rd in the Group N battle in the process. They do though stay behind Sasha Kakad and James Aldridge, who also gain a position themselves, 9th place now, taking 2nd in the class, 27 seconds ahead of Davies. Frustratingly for Russ Thompson and Andy Murphy, it would be a drop down the overall leaderboard from 5th to 8th. Thankfully they do enough to stay ahead of their class battle though and take the Group N victory here at round 3. We do though sadly lose Stephen Clark and Steve Pugh, the gearbox expiring on the final stage and the pair going no further. Tom Preston and Jack Morton have a successful day learning that new car. There would still be some work to do, but 7th place this weekend would do for the Skoda pair. Paul Ben and Richard Kirk gain a few places in the afternoon stages. possibly due to weight saving from that last front end. They end the rally with 6th place in that second-hand looking Focus. Meanwhile, Peter Stevenson and Giles Dykes have a good weekend to bring home their newer Focus WRC in 5th place. The times were close as well, just 2 seconds advantage over Ben by the finish. It's a great debut in the championship for Martin and Dawn England in their new car. 4th place at the end of the rally and only 2 seconds back from those podium places. But talking of podiums, there will be no change at the top. Carl and Guy Simmons unable to gain any more positions, but happy to settle with 3rd place overall here in Somerset. Sadly for Charlie Payne and Carl Williamson, there will be nothing they could do. 2nd place was theirs despite a valiant effort, losing out by just 8 seconds by the end of the rally. That does mean though it's advantage Luke Francis and John Roberts, taking their 2nd victory of the season here at round 3. 2 out of 3, setting Luke up with the confidence he needs going into the next round of the Plains Rally. Before Kirsty chats to our winner, here's a reminder of the final times at the top of that Gold Star battle today.
So look, congratulations, what an amazing result today.
It's been a bit crazy day, to be honest. We've had all sorts of weather conditions to deal with, and Charlie's been pushing us all day, so it's been a fantastic day rallying.
And the Plains is the next round?
Yeah, it's the next round. Well, hopefully we'll have the same sort of performance going into that rally. We're feeling confident with the new car now, and yeah, it's gone really well.
That's it from us here in Somerset. Join us in Wellspool for the next round of the championship, the Plains Rally. Thanks for watching.
Two left.